So there are certain hacks that'll make you look more manly, like growing a beard. Some hacks can actually make you smell better. But the hacks we're going over today will actually make it bigger, stronger, and more rock solid. So as you guys know, I have done quite a few videos about how to make it like the best that it can possibly be. I've also recently experimented with a few other devices that were pretty incredible. Today, I basically like to cut out the shit. I'd like to tell you exactly what you need to do and what hacks actually work and how you can maximize your God-given Big Al potential. There are some other things that we'll talk about later in the video that are a little bit more questionable that definitely work, but are a little bit more sketchy in terms of you gotta be careful and some of the things you probably shouldn't do, but I just want you to be informed. Please note, individual results may vary, but what won't is your Big Al being bigger, stronger, thicker, sexier, and more rock solid. Number one is lose body fat, all right? We gotta start there because if you are carrying extra fat or weight in your midsection or pubic fat pad, right, because that's the area right above your wiener's not going to be as big as possible. The second thing you got to do is trim your monster man bush. If you're rocking a big bush of hair, your wiener's going to look itty bitty. Gentlemen, it's not a question, it's a fact. If you want to make your Big Al look as big as possible, trim the bushes and let the tiger out of the jungle. Wow. Number three is increase the amount of nitric oxide your body is producing. Nitric oxide is responsible for blood vessel dilation, right? The bigger the blood vessels, the more blood can actually flow into Big Al. Few things that you can do in order to hack the system. L-Arginine is what I personally take. It's a natural amino acid that basically gets converted into nitric oxide in the body. Something else that's a little bit easier for your body to assimilate is L-Citrulline. Two amazing amino acids that are guaranteed to make your Big Al big, strong, thick, and sexy.
Ooh, mommy likey.
The next thing you got to do is increase your circulation. How are you going to increase your circulation? Few things. Number one, quit smoking. If you're somebody that is actually smoking cigarettes, right, and weed, we'll talk about that in a second, right? If you're smoking anything, it's bad for the maximization of Al because nicotine is a vasoconstrictor. You know how nitric oxide like opens everything up? Nicotine, whoop, it does the opposite and constricts blood flow. But alpha weed's not bad for you. Really? It's not good for you. It's also bad for your sperm, not to mention your fertilization, because remember, it's not just about your wiener. It's also about the boys. They are the brains behind the operation. You got to take care of them. You got to support them if you want them to produce amazing testosterone, not to mention super healthy, kick-ass sperm. Exercise, lift weights, get that blood flowing. Gentlemen, HIIT training, cardiovascular, all these things are going to facilitate the blood flow. Gentlemen, the more blood that is flowing through your body, the more you're going to have the ability to bang, exactly, get them up, fast, strong, sexy, hard, big, amazing, rock, solid, Al. The next thing, guaranteed to make it bigger, stronger, and healthier is to wear the right underwear. What is the wrong underwear? Tighty whities, they're terrible. Why? Because they get stretched out, they don't support anything. They're also not sexy and they get stained and are disgusting. Boxers, gentlemen, these are probably the worst underwear in the history of underwear because it's basically like you're wearing baggy shorts. The whole idea is that you need, in order for your Al to be awesome and your balls to be amazing, you need them to be supported, but you don't want them to be like packed in your pants and super tight. Boxers offer zero support. They're also really unattractive. When you take your clothes off and you're like, yo, mamacita, check me out. Look at my big wiener. She's like, what, are you kidding me? Because you literally look like a little boy. That's who wears boxers. No man. The truth is, there's only one style of underwear that you should be wearing. The brand is Sheath. I've talked about them a gazillion times. It is the only company that I recommend. It's also the only company that urologists have been recommending because of what they do. Gentlemen, these are not your daddy's boxer briefs. Sure, they look like super sexy underwear because they are, but they've got something special, something secret. Inside, see that? That little pouch? It's a dual chamber design. The whole idea and premise behind the genius of Sheath is that they separate the twig from the berries. In that little pouch, you're gonna stick your boys. They go right in there, and then that whole boom, you're sticking Big Al through. What's happening is you're creating separation, you're creating space, you're supporting your testicles, you're giving Big Al room to breathe. You're gonna look humongous.
It's not just big, it's huge.
Big. I'm talking massive. When you put on a pair of Sheath underwear, it's like unbelievable. My wife, when I showed her for the first time, she's like,
What did you do with my husband's wiener?
because literally it looks humongous. Anyway, the other thing that happens when you wear sheath, you don't sweat as much because you're separating everything. One of the reasons why you develop musky, funky nuts, not to mention chafing, is because everything is packed down into your pants. It's like a meaty, hot mess down your pants, right? And what happens, you start to sweat, it's dark, it's damp, you're sweating, odor-causing bacteria, and you get musky. You also get chafing because everything is packed in there. And that's the reason, honestly, that Robert, the owner of Sheath, created it. He was a soldier over in the desert, and he kept getting like chafed really bad from walking around in the heat. So he started thinking, he's like, how can I fix this problem? And so he started experimenting. He got socks and he cut them up. He got duct tape and strings and shoelaces. And what he found is that if you can actually separate Big Al from the boys, you're going to be cooler, you're going to be drier, you're going to smell less, and it's going to be more comfortable. Gentlemen, it's also going to be healthier. There is a reason why urologists are recommending sheath underwear, because they are a better mousetrap. Guys, it is an incredible design. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, are they comfortable? And that's what I thought. The first time I met Robert at the Menfluential Conference, he's like, Aaron, and he tossed me a pair of sheath. I'm like, I'll be right back. I went, I put them on, and at first it was like, what am I doing, right? Putting your balls in this little pouch and then your wiener. It was actually kind of fun, but it was crazy because it was literally the most comfortable I'd been. No longer was I sweating. No longer was I getting stinky. No longer was I getting chafed. Guys, if you are not rocking sheath underwear, you are totally missing out, and your Big Al is not as big, strong, sexy, or healthy as possible. Guys, I've got a link down below this video. Sheath underwear are amazing. You've got to try them, all right? There's also going to be a discount code. They've got a ton of different styles. They've got a ton of different colors. Guys, I'm telling you, if you have not tried Sheath, treat yourself, treat your body, treat your balls and Big Al to the best. The next hack in order to make it rock solid, awesome, big, thick, and sexy, I'm talking amazing, is reduce the amount of alcohol you're consuming. All right, a few reasons. Number one, beer is bad in terms of the amount of phytoestrogens from hops that are in there. Phytoestrogens are plant-based estrogens. The more that you drink, the less and the lower your testosterone is going to be. If your testosterone is low, you're going to have a difficult time getting Al to stand at attention. The other reason why alcohol is bad for making Al awesome and big and strong and ready to rock, right, is because when you drink, it kind of suppresses everything, right? Have you ever tried to like get Al to do what you want Al to do, and he's just like, come on, come on, come on. Yo, bro, not right now. He's tired, right? And he's kind of like semi, and the girl or guy or whatever you're with is,
You think I'm disgusting?
no, it's not you, it's him, just like,
Al, come on, buddy, don't do this to me, you got this, come on, Al, please, Al, all right?
No, Al's like, yo, peace out. I'm taking a siesta. I'm tired because you drank too much booze. I got whiskey weenie. All right, gentlemen, so those hacks are all like lifestyle modifications that will absolutely make it the best it can be in terms of your physical potential. But there's some other things that you could try or do that will definitely increase the size of your wiener, all right? The first thing I want to real quick talk about are the pumps, all right? I did a video talking about this. I reviewed it for 30 days. I actually reviewed it now for about 45 days. At 60 days, I'm actually going to do a follow-up video. Bottom line, these work. The other bottom line is you need to be careful, and that is one of the things that the PE community on Reddit tore me a new one for in that video. They're like, hey, you really didn't stress the importance of being safe and careful and taking it slow. And I didn't. You know, that video was really just about me sharing my experience with it, but the truth is, these things are not a toy. They are very, very serious, all right? Your wiener can get hurt, it can get damaged, and if you are too aggressive or if you're not using it properly, you can definitely do serious permanent damage. You've got to make sure you take it slow. Do the pumps work? The answer is yes, they do. You need to be careful. 1,000% yes, you do. But if you're somebody that is insecure and you've done all these other things, you may want to try it. The next thing we're going to talk about, a lot of guys do in conjunction with some of these other things or by itself, and that is jelqing, all right? Jelqing is basically like milking and like stretching like your wiener, right? Now, the whole premise behind this is when you actually do this, you're creating small micro tears. The micro tears, they heal, you're pulling blood into it, it stretches it, it gets it longer, but it also comes with negative consequences sometimes. If you're too aggressive or you go overboard, you can permanently damage your wiener. You can also create bruising. You gotta be careful, you can't go overboard, all right? Another sort of hack that's out there there is like the hanging or the stretching, right? There are devices out there that you can basically hang or stretch, your wiener. Do not do this. In my opinion, this is absolutely a recipe for Big Al disaster. All right, I'm not saying that it doesn't work potentially, but does the risk outweigh the reward? And the answer is yes, in my opinion. All right, now, if you're somebody that wants to go the next step, there are surgical options out there in terms of like silicone sleeves that get implanted, there are extenders. You just got to make sure that you're careful. All right, personally, I would go the natural route because it doesn't matter how big Big Al is. If he doesn't work, it doesn't matter.